And hello again. This week I wanted to come back and have a chat about Marvel Crisis Protocol. It's been a little while, but we managed to finally get some games in. So let's have a chat about Marvel 20 games in. Now, obviously, since I last did a video, we've expanded quite a bit. Most of those games were played with, you see Guardians here. I recently did manage to finally finish painting them all, as well as finish painting all my spider foes, but more on those later. You did notice I did end up coming back to them and redoing their bases in this alien landscape. Now, there's a couple reasons for this. One, obviously, I think the street bases for Marvel are pretty nice, but they do get repetitive after a while. And one of the nice things about Guardians as affiliation is a lot of these guys are just in the one affiliation, so we can do these more out there bases without worrying about random models in other splashing into other crews. And if you're doing that anyway, well, it's already going to look out of place, so it's fine. The other reason is I've always wanted to try these laser cut plants from Gamergrass, and this I think was an excellent opportunity. I'm quite pleased with how they came out. It certainly gives them something else to do, some real pop of colour. I did think about the colour of the texture paint I used to cover up the bases. In this case, I just left it grey, thinking the plants added enough colour, and I think that might have been the right choice. But I guess we'll never know. But other than that, going from Webs to Guardians, obviously this is a much more fighty crew, having that long range and more energy attacks. Certainly a different playstyle. Still a lot of fun. A bit restrictive, obviously, with the one leader at the time. Obviously, since then they brought out Adam, and maybe we'll pick him up and come back to them again eventually. But the other one I've been playing, Spider Foes, and the new starter set. Now, I've not rehashing my opinion on starter sets. They finally put these out, and I couldn't be happier. This is exactly what I wanted for this game for ages. Now, obviously, I went with Spider Foes. Yeah, a couple reasons for this, but the key ones for me was it was much more self-contained. Like, this is nearly the entire affiliation, where I didn't have much interest in Brotherhood and X-Men. It's a very large amount of models you could expand into. So I ended up going with this, and I could certainly see myself playing these 10 models for a whole year. Now, obviously, your mileage on that could vary from how often you play to how much you like to jump around with models. But again, for me, personally, I've restricted myself to single affiliations or armies or factions for a year in most of my games, and it serves me really well. Now, Marvel I intend to treat a little differently, where it's more of I'll add an affiliation every year, but I'm going to make sure that I've played at least 10 games with Spider Foes before I switch to anyone else. Most likely going back to Webs, as we've picked up a couple of little things for them as well, for different reasons. But that's not the point. The point is Spider Foes and this new starter box. Now, this is great. Again, the price point is amazing. The new ones coming out, typically they obviously made a Guardians of the Galaxy one, which has the exact same 10 models I have. But another thing I've learned in games is not to wait around for stuff to come out, for other stuff to come out, because then who knows how long it will take, and especially in the modern market. So we're back on to, I grabbed something that was available at this time that I wanted. Now, I've only played a handful of games with these Spider Foes, and a lot of those I've been sort of shoehorning in models specifically to get them on the table to try them, to see how they feel. And most of them I really enjoyed. Some more than others. The Vulture didn't do much for me. Mysterio is amazing and hilarious. Sandman seems really good, but obviously the first time I played with grunts, so there's a bit of a learning experience in that. But I reckon he's got some potential. I just need to learn to play it. As for models, most of them go together really easy. Some of them are a bit funny. Getting Carnage on his tentacles, on his base, did pose a bit of a challenge, and lining up the lizard where he connects to the water splash, it's kind of unclear, and I think you just kind of got to do what you need to make it look good. But overall, great models, very dynamic. It's exactly what this company does really well. As I said, it's a great combination of models, a lot of variety and scheming and beating and tanking. So, as I said, I think I could play this all year without any problems. And at about the rate I play games, that's probably about what we're going to end up doing. So, all done up and painted, which is real nice to just be able to put a fully painted crew on the table. And to finally have all the tokens to be able to actually play a game smoothly without having to just make random notes on who's got shock or rooted or any other condition, where now we can just throw a token down and we know. The only other real problem I've had with this box is the fact it's only got the one leader option. Now, I don't know if it would have been worth switching one of these guys out for Doc Ock, given then if you buy the boxes in and get a bunch of other models. But on the other hand, I don't think it's worth me buying the boxes in because I don't want the other models with him. Age-old problems. It's always going to be a problem with someone in some affiliation. And maybe it's just me wanting that choice. But it does restrict me to having to field this one model constantly. And I don't find him that versatile as a leader. It's obviously a very attack-oriented leader, and when he flips and can't do objectives, I need to plan for that. Opposed to Guardians, where the whole time I was playing them, they only had the one leader option, but his leadership is obviously very versatile, and himself is a very cheap leader, so he's not a big tax on the crew you're hiring. But if that's my biggest problem with this box, well, I don't think it's that big of a problem, honestly. So overall, the pros heavily outweigh the cons, and I would recommend picking up one of these starter boxes if it happens to be an affiliation you want to grab. Or if you're looking to get into the game, as it's really hard getting in the game without the tokens from a starter box. And a lot of the cards are nice to have, as though you can print them out. It's sometimes just nice to have the proper physical cards and not have to worry about it. But moving forward, obviously we'll be playing a lot more games. Hopefully we can get the rest of the year out, get Spider Foes up to a good number under my belt, and then probably switch into whichever affiliation we decide to do next year. Again, probably going back to Webs. They had some really good releases recently. But that's my update on MCP after 20 games. But for now, that's me, Captain Steel, signing out.